Yeah, so thank you for the opportunity. We can start with the slides. There we go. See if this works. So the question, why do we back entrepreneurs in South Africa? And I've only got 9 minutes. And that's a very difficult question, right? So I spend the last couple of days thinking, what am I going to tell you, right? So let's start. And then I thought, okay, I can easily speak about business partners for longer than 10 minutes. That's specifically what we do. We've got a very core and specific focus on only providing finance for SMEs. That's the only thing that we do. And I can talk a lot about that. And then I thought, okay, well, I can talk a lot about our history, right? So we started in the early 1980s, and I can go into a lot of info on our stats. Since the early 1980s, that are some of the stats that we have accomplished, which is quite impressive. And then you say, okay, but what have you done recently? And I can talk a lot about the last 18 months. This was financial year up until the end of March 23, so I can talk a lot about that. And then I thought, okay, well, what else? And then I thought, okay, why do we do it, right? So you start thinking about entrepreneurs. Spent last night going through the GEM report again, and there's lots of stats. I thought maybe I can share on that and all the nice stuff about job creation and making a difference, you know, and entrepreneurs and their intensity and their passion and their drive, and I can talk a lot about that. And I still wasn't convinced, and then I thought maybe I can talk about, okay, how do we finance entrepreneurs, right? And now I've got lots of slides. I can tell you, if I go back, I can tell you a lot. We finance from 500,000 to 50 million. I can talk about our 100% commercial property finance. I can talk about our energy fund, specifically providing cost-saving solutions for load shedding. I can talk about that. I can talk about equipment finance. I can talk about short-term finance. I can talk about our mentorship and technical assistance. And then finally, yesterday afternoon, I got invited to a client function. And I thought, okay, I'm going to spend rather my last 5 or 6 minutes on talking about that lady in the middle. Tani Ramhan is what we call her. So she's an existing client, and she invited some of us to a function yesterday at her house. She stays in Mowbray. There was probably, my colleagues here, there was probably like 80 people. It looked like a wedding function, and everybody was there. All the clients, all the suppliers, all of the employees, us as the financier, her parents, which originally started the business, her kids that are currently in the business, her grandkids who had to also say something and who's also running around. And it was so intense to when she stood up and wanted to say a few things. She said, when she stands here and she looks at everybody, like in our house, there's like a lot, and it was hot yesterday, and we had to be there and smile, but we were there, and lots of people were here, and she's talking about, like, if she looks at all of this, her dream came true, and everybody that was there had a part to play in that. Now, bearing in mind, her old mother and father is there who started the business. She took it forward, all the employees, everybody's there. And we as business partners had a small part in that. And everybody had to say something. She actually put us on the spot. So the few things that I could say was, if I think about her, and I can't share the information due to copyright, but the entity's names, we obviously have a client list, and whenever I saw the names, so when I started at Business Partners, I inherited her as a client, and whenever I think about that name, I get scared. And you would think, why? Okay, so when I started, I was still a fairly inexperienced investment officer. And my colleagues told me, pas op vir Tani Raman, you better be scared, you know. She'll put you to the curb. You have to make sure everything is good and proper, but be careful, right? So in the beginning, I was very scared. Over time, the relationship got a lot better, but whenever after that I still saw her name or the business name, or I saw that I've got a message from her, I was still scared. But now I was scared for different reasons. I was scared she's going to phone me to say, you know what, I'm not going to pay on the 5th, but maybe by the 25th, because I had a nice deal, or I had to work on this supply, I had to do that, you know, so I was scared about that. Or I was scared that she's going to say I must come and have a look at the property we financed, because she did renovations and extensions, and I was always scared, like, please let there be approved building plans, please let the stuff be in place, please, 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 please. Always scared. But now, at the end, she's still a client, but she's not going to be a client for a very long time anymore. And now I'm still scared, because she's not going to be a client anymore. She's not going to, every year around this time of year, she comes to our office. She makes amazing food, right? So I'm not going to taste the food again. I'm not going to taste the cookies she makes. So every year she brings it to the office. She spoils everyone. Even though she can't remember everybody's name, she say, this one and that one. And Renee, you have to give her the cookies. And what's that lady's name with the long hair, the beautiful one that always likes my food? You must please give her the stuff. And she's been such an ambassador for business partners, right? So, and now she's outgrown us, and she doesn't need us anymore. And now that I'm scared, because now I'm going to lose one of my very good clients, but we're also very happy for her within that. So if you ask me, why do we finance entrepreneurs in South Africa, it's because of that. Once you've felt it, tasted it, experienced it, have been involved in it, it is something magical, right? And it's something that we must really foster, and we must spread the good news. I mean, we can really, at this day and age, we can be very negative, but really to make the decision to be positive about entrepreneurship, be positive about South Africa, and really, I think this evening, for all the entrepreneurs in the house, stay committed, stay focused, don't lose hope, and just don't stop. Really, don't stop. And so if you want more information about us, like I said, I can stand here for hours, but we are here this evening. A few of my colleagues is here as well. But enjoy the rest of the evening, and thank you very much for the opportunity and the time.